Here we go. Here we go. Here we go again. Actually, I guess for the show, it's supposed to be, who are you? Who are you?
That's what they sing on the show. So I guess we're going to totally rip off The Masked Singer.
Why not?
Last week went well. I thought we had a lot of fun with Liz, who was our Chicken Little with the hairy chest.
A little bit. Chicken not so little.
Chicken not so little.
You just moved away from me instead of towards me.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know what you meant. So
yeah, it was really fun.
Hi, everybody.
Hello. It's Wednesday. It's Bots Up and Listed. Scooby Dooby Doo Bop. Beep 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 boo. Scooby Dooby Bop. You like that?
Weirdo.
All right, now it's your turn. You scat.
No, it's not happening. Sorry.
Anyway, it's Wednesday. It's Boss Up and List Day. What is Boss Up and List Day?
Generally, it is our all-day listing party that we host in the Boss Facebook group. You should be a member. If you're not a member, the link is down below if you happen to be joining us for the first time. It is the Facebook group that we help run with Teresa Cox and a couple of other fantastic admins. We could not do it without. And basically, we kind of check in on Wednesdays and we talk about our goals for the day or our goals for the week, and we kind of gather around the virtual water cooler and hold each other accountable for those goals, whatever they may be.
Indeed.
And right now we're trying to stay sane like everybody else.
Oh man, seriously. So yeah, if this is your first time for whatever reason and you don't know who the heck we are, I'm Katie. This is Vicky, aka Victoria, aka she who does not like tofu in any form, aka my fiance.
It's true.
That is true, right?
It is.
Yeah. I made something with tofu yesterday, which, mind you, I know she doesn't like. She said she doesn't like tofu. I have a certain recipe for tofu tacos. It's delicious, but I made it for my lunch yesterday because I knew that probabilities were high that she would not like it, and it was true. But to your credit, you did try it. You were willing to try it on a cracker.
I tried it.
You went and spit it into the toilet, so that was appreciated. But
yeah, I have tried tofu many, many, many times, and I like just about everything. I'm not a picky eater.
That's a lie.
That's
anyway.
A lie. I'm not a picky eater, but the reality is that it's a texture thing for me. I realize it doesn't have much taste. I'm not, yeah. I know it takes on the taste of whatever it is that you're cooking with. It's a texture thing for me. I can't get past it. I think it's nasty. I'm sorry. Can't do it.
Yeah, you're not picky. I mean, you don't like pho. You don't like Korean barbecue. You don't like pizza. You don't like ice cream. You don't like tofu. You don't.
But I will eat all of those things, just not liking. I don't prefer them. There's a difference between not liking and
whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of trying to stay sane, I've been noticing a lot of like conversations and comments. Particularly, I saw Lorna and Liz and some others talking about their significant others driving them completely nuts. Here's the thing.
How is that different than any other day for my life?
So rude. So rude. Here's the thing. Vicky and I already work at home. The reality is, outside of this pandemic, outside of the whole like stay-at-home order and everything, we already are together. I would say every minute of every day, minus maybe a few hours a week when one of us goes sourcing alone, but we're really together all the time. So for us, that part of it has not been an issue at all. I think it's just, we've realized that even though we're like 99% homebodies, there is something to be said for that little bit of social relief going out once or twice a week. And not having that drives us crazy. But there are other people out there where this is just not the norm. Like, you're used to being home if you work from home, and then your spouse is like away during the day. And now it's like you are experiencing being together nonstop every day.
And we're lucky we like each other.
And because we already do this and work from home, we're not working as much just because we haven't had as much inventory to work with. But we're working. What I'm seeing a lot of people talk about is like, okay, so they're continuing their routine of working, and then their significant other is stuck at home from their job, and they're not doing a whole lot of anything So they're having a little bit of a hard time because it's like they're working their asses off, and then they look over and their partner's over there playing on their phone.
And they're trying not to kill their partner.
Instead of working on, maybe some home projects or whatever, but.
Yeah. Pat, I'm talking about you.
Poor Pisney Pat. Anyway, but yeah, so it's been kind of funny to see like Lord, nothing doing nothing. I don't know. So I think we are super lucky that this has
I still like her. I mostly want to kill her every other day anyway. That has not changed. Pandemic forced isolation has not really changed that fact. She still drives me crazy. Well, she knows it.
We're super lucky because it's like other people, either they're essential workers and they have to go out if they want to be able to support their family. They have to go out even though it's scary and they're worried about getting sick or worried about bringing something home to their family. Like that's scary. Or if you're somebody who is not an essential worker and you've either been laid off or for whatever reason now you have to be at home and it's completely changed your whole lifestyle. And then you're also worried about the fact that people are getting sick, people are dying. So like we have it pretty lucky. We're pretty lucky. We've got it pretty good.
And I was pretty panicked the first few weeks about not having inventory, but now that I've solved that problem by stepping outside of my comfort zone, now I feel like I can get back into a normal routine for me.
Yeah.
I realize that's not the case for everyone else.
No. And I've been able to like get a lot of inventory coming in by doing lots of sourcing on eBay and stuff like that. And then I've been doing some orders from other people. And so now I think I'm going to be able to move up from only doing like 5 listings a day to maybe doing 10 listings a day. And if I want to have a crazy day, doing maybe 15. I don't know.
I actually had Crystal come and pick stuff up yesterday. I had 4 huge totes, probably close to 200 items that I've sourced over the last 2 weeks for her to do some photos and listing of. And I have about 75 plus here for me to work on. So I think I'm set for the next several weeks. If only the sales would be on point with the listings, that would be great. But
they're still coming in.
I just haven't seen an increase in sales, obviously, with the increase in listings that I've been doing. But that's okay. It'll come. Everything's strange right now. So
I would say Barbara says that she got her first box of cookbooks already. She bought 4 lots online and usually she sources locally. Obviously that's not happening now. So she was, a little worried because she put a big chunk of money to buy a bunch of online lots.
Because that's not her normal way of sourcing either. So we're all trying to adjust a little bit. So Rick, Thrift Peeper asked, how are hard goods doing in comparison to clothing? For me, it's always been about 50-50. And I think that that's continuing. As a matter of fact, I think the hard goods are doing better than clothing right now. It's tough to tell. I'm not sending out as much clothing as I normally do. My sales are down in general, so it's really hard for me to tell if it has to do with like which is doing better. Hard goods are probably doing a little bit better. The problem with that is that I have not sourced very many hard goods. I've listed a bunch of games and puzzles that I pulled out of my own stash and a few that I've been able to pick up from Barry. But for the most part, I haven't sourced any hard goods because it's just far too expensive to ship. So the only thing I'm listing is going to be clothing for the next several weeks. So, we'll see what happens with that.
So Jen said earlier, I think she had breakfast at it's 2:00 where she is. She says she hasn't woken up this late in years, waking up around 11 or noon. Who do I think I am? Motley Crue. Yeah. I think I put in one of our posts the other day that we've been sleeping in. We've been waking up at 7:45 every morning for the last.
I was up at 6 this morning.
Oh, okay. Well, so that's been which is weird because I know that's still early, but for us, we usually are 6:30. So it's just I know yesterday you took a nap and then I took a nap and I'm not a napper, guys. I try. I'm always tired. I'm always I want to take a nap. I can never nap. And I swear every time I lay down for a nap, the dogs decide to bark at something or Amazon drops off at the front door and rings the doorbell and runs every time, which makes the dogs bark. You got solid 2 hours.
I slept for 2 hours.
You had a couple nights in a row where you didn't sleep very well. And then 5, I had a little bit of a headache. So I go to lay down. And this one over here, she's like, oh, don't sleep too long because then you're not gonna be able to sleep tonight. And I was like, who cares? I go, nothing in the world even matters anymore. It's not Like what? So I'm gonna like stay up later tonight, and then maybe I'll need a nap tomorrow. Like, does it really matter? Like,
the world is different.
We don't have to get up because I've always felt this way though, because it's like it's not like we have to get up at a set time to go to a job anyway. So who cares if like I stay up later or whatever? But yeah, I think you like a little more sense of structure.
I do. So my friend Susan is in the chat. She lives in Oregon now, but she is from Nevada, and I met her here in Las Vegas. She was my first local friend that I met here. So she's asking, how is Posh going for me? Posh sucks. I have to be real, guys. For me, it sucks. I know that's not the case for everybody. I'm happy to have another stream of income because it doesn't cost me much to maintain it. Obviously, there's no cost to list on Posh. I am paying a Posh assistant $30 a week to do sharing and things like that for me. I'm not even covering that cost right now. I mean, the past few weeks, I've sold one item a week for maybe $30. It's just not working for me. We'll see if it picks up again. eBay is still my love. Etsy is really down. Posh is pretty much non-existent. Mercari sales have picked up, strangely enough. I'm selling, 4 or 5 items a week on Mercari, which Mercari was the one that was the once in a blue moon. So
eBay is still my number one as far as sales levels, but Etsy's down, but I'm still doing like I think I'm over to about $2,100 for the last month on Etsy. And Grailed has been really consistent. Like I've been having a lot of action on Grailed, so that's kind of nice. But Grailed and Etsy have pretty much the same amount of listing, just over 1,500. So between those two platforms together, they've really, I keep saying it, but they've really kind of saved me. Yeah, Lorna says, where'd she go? She said there was a message on there. Oh yeah, she said the 2-hour nap is normal, not for this one. And what's funny is after she'd been asleep for like an hour, the dogs heard something and they were doing like their little, like the little barking sounds. And so I like snuck down there really fast downstairs and I was like, "What do you shut up right now?" Because I was pretty sure that they were gonna like wake her up and then she was gonna be like real sad because she didn't get a full good nap. But she slept for like another hour after that. Anyway, guys. So we did this last week. We're doing it again this week just for fun, doing the masked seller. Liz was our first guest last week. Chicken Not So Little. It was really fun. It was actually her idea. She kind of, jokingly said something when we were chatting like earlier in the week that it would be funny to do like have like a masked seller. And we were like, great idea. Let's do it.
And you'll be the first one. And
and so we
totally stole her idea, and we're grateful for it because it's been fun. It's been silly fun.
Yeah, for sure. So we had a good time last week. So we thought, heck, why not do it again? Might as well. And so what are you looking at your sales?
Yeah, now? I just sold something on Etsy.
What'd you sell? Share it with the class, please.
Oh, it's my sale from yesterday. Why the heck am I getting an email?
I don't know, but maybe put your phone down. We're in the middle of a show. Unprofessional. You're walking around in your pajamas now.
I have my pajamas on.
With your raggedy nails. Your hair looks good.
Your hair looks good.
We won't even talk about your toenails.
Listen, we won't even talk about how bad I need a pedicure, but man, you feel me, girls? Listen,
I can help you out with that.
I'm a little bit of a high maintenance chick. I am a girly girl. I'm not super high maintenance. I'm not like big on designer clothing and I don't have to go to the tanning salon and that kind of crap. But I'm like one step below that. I got to have the manicure, the pedicure, the eyebrows threaded, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, no.
I was thinking I could get out the Dremel that I use on the dogs and just like go to town on those toenails for you if you want me to.
No.
Yeah, no? Okay. Remember Dumb and Dumber? You probably didn't watch that.
No.
Knowing you. All right, guys. So we have a special mystery guest for this week's installment of The Masked Seller. We're going to do it similar to last week. Our mystery guest will not be speaking. We're going to refer to our mystery guest as Curly Sue.
Curly Sue?
Curly Sue.
Okay.
Based on the quarantine hair. So yes or no, you guys are going to ask the questions, yes or no answers. And similar to last week, we are going to, some of you are going to know this person, some of you aren't. So for those of you who don't, especially, a couple of things that we're going to try to guess about our masked seller is what state they live in. and what their previous career was. And then, of course, the third will be who they actually are.
And
then,
again, some of you may know, some of you may not. She,
well, like you can tell it's a she.
You can tell it's a she
from the video. And
I was gonna say,
and we're calling her Curly Sue.
Yeah, she's never been on our show before. I don't believe.
No, and
not full on.
So so we'll see how long this takes, and then once we get tired of the shtick, we will reveal the masked seller, our mystery guest, and have a little conversation about what's going on in their world and life in quarantine and reselling and whatnot. So let's go ahead and
it was a gender reveal.
Ooh, gender reveal. All right, here we go. And now we have I love that this week's mask seller has a whole variety,
an arsenal
of visual effects and ways of
We've got the masked emoji.
Yeah, so we've got Curly Sue here, our mask seller for this week. And if you saw the picture we had up for the show, the thumbnail, the quarantine hair, I think the hair is beautiful. I think it's quite lovely. And look, still still getting up in the morning, putting the earrings on, got the danglies there. Very pretty. Got the lipstick and the blush. And a very fancy mask too. That must have set you back at least
a couple dollars.
At least a couple dollars, and blood, sweat, and tears. Yes. All right. So we've already got some questions. Well, Allison says I'm getting a tiki vibe from that mask. It does kind of have that feel a little bit.
It's because it's square.
Kara has noticed that we have an artist in our midst. What do my jokes and my cardboard head have in common? Oh, our mask seller is asking us questions now. I don't know. They're both recycled.
I'm really glad we asked this person to do this, because now she has set the bar for future guests, because she's very creative.
Okay, so what do you call a cardboard belt? A waste of paper.
But
all right, Lori wants to know, mask seller Curly Sue, are you from Florida? Are you from Florida? No. All right, Mary Me says, is it still cold where you live? Say below 50 degrees. Is it below 50 degrees where you are right now? No, it is not below 50 degrees. All right, guys. Keep the questions going. Yeah, Lorna says, I think I know. I'm going to keep my mouth zipped. Karen wants to know, do you love tiki? Do you love tiki? No. Kara wants to know, were you a teacher? Was that your previous career? Were you a teacher? Yes. Yes, although I will say that that's not necessarily the career that we're looking for the answer for. So there is another major career. So
I will say that this particular person has had about 9,500 careers.
That's true.
Yes.
Very true. Very, very true. Let's see. Okay, so Colorado Reward, this is Liz. Do you live in Pacific Standard Time? Yes.
Good question. Good question.
And Liz, for a day, I mean, probably that answered the question, but was your state hit by tornadoes? No. Although I will say, years back when I was living in Portland, we actually had a tornado come through Vancouver, Washington, which was very like, ooh, crazy. Okay, Colorado Reward wants to know, Jen wants to know, are you brunette? Are you brunette? I don't know how you can see, not even close. I don't know how you can see all of your signs with your mask on there. I'm pretty impressed. All right, guys, keep asking questions. Oh, let's see. Somebody asked if you were in Arizona, although I guess that's not Pacific Standard Time. So I'm going to say no. We know that the answer is no. Okay, Red Robin Reseller wants to know, do you have a YouTube channel?
Not even
Not
close.
even close. All right, Karen wants to know, do you have children? Do you have children? Yes. Oh, here's a good question from Aaron. Have you been to eBay Open? Have you been to eBay Open? Yes. Yes. Ooh, good question right here. Wicked Reseller wants to know, do you live near a beach? Yes, indeed. Mother Deals wants to know if you're married. Looking for the sign. Looking for the sign. Yes. Well, Susan says that you should have a YouTube channel. Yes.
Totally.
So guys who are asking if you live, oh wait, so Karen wants to know if you live in California. No. There are a couple people who are asking if she lives in states that are on the East Coast, but we've already established that she's in the Pacific Standard Time. Let's see, somebody asked the question. Here we go. Mary Me asked, do you live in Washington State? Yes. All right, guys. We got one. We got one. Yeah, see, Liz asked the question too. Are you in Washington State? So we got one, guys. Now let's focus in. Let's laser focus in, finding out what one of her careers was. Her big, one of her more recent careers. Oh, what is Cardboard's favorite sport? Anybody have a guess? Boxing.
Oh my goodness.
Kara wants to know if you are Binky.
Binky wishes she were that creative.
No, Binky is in. Binky's actually in Oregon.
She's not a reseller.
Yeah,
and she's in Oregon.
Well, she's dabbled. She's dabbled, but she's not really. Yeah, and Thrift
and
Fever
Binky is creative,
not
but not that creative.
Rude. She's very creative. Anyway, it's not Lorna. Mother Deals wants to know if you are Allison. And that would be a big no. Allison's actually in Alaska. So let's see. What are the questions? Come on, guys. We're trying to figure out this is the previous career. So not full-time reseller now, but previous career. What are you looking for?
That one.
Oh, Rockin' Robin wants to dial in a little tighter. Vancouver, Washington? No. No. So I will tell you guys that reselling is what she does now, but there was a major career that she had to leave somewhat recently, within the last few years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where is it? Which one? Oh, were you a guest at Katie and Vicky's house? Were you a guest? What's in it for me? So were you? Yes. Yes. Not quite a guest, but perhaps a member of the live studio audience. Oh, Susan has a good question. Were you in trucking? Were you in trucking? Yes. Oh boy. All right, guys, we're getting real close. We're getting real close. Oh, Carrie Berry's mom wants to know if you're Noelle, Farm Girl Scavenger. Not even close. I think we're getting real close, guys. I think we're getting real close. Oh, I think Kara's got it. It's Debbie. Who are you? Take off that mask. Take off that mask. Who are you? Yay!
Susan says, I know who you are.
Hello, Debbie.
Hello. Good morning, everybody.
So this is our friend Debbie, also known as the Uptown Bug.
Yeah, I'll actually have to put a link to your store after the show, since we couldn't do it before we told you, Debbie. But I'm sure we would like to be able to let people go check it out. But how are you?
I am awesome.
So Rick says, not fair. I thought she lived in BC. Why
I
don't
live in both.
do you explain to us the really strange place where you live and what's unique about it?
Okay, I live in Point Roberts, Washington. You can Google it, and it's a little tiny point of land that's only about 3 square miles. That's part of Washington State, but it's not connected to Washington State.
Yeah.
You have to go up through Canada to get to it, and then back down.
Yeah,
So,
it's like if this was the border, if you have like the border, it's like there's Washington and there's Canada, and then there's like a little nub right here.
yes.
Right. So you got to go up into
Yeah.
Canada and back into Washington to be able to, it's so weird. Well, how does that work right now? Like, are they letting, or if you, I know you guys are staying home, but if you needed to go into the other part of Washington right now, are you able to cross the border?
No, I couldn't get to the other part of Washington. In an emergency, I could get over to British Columbia. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
They're just being really careful at the borders, and they're only allowing essential stuff. So in a way, it's kind of isolating because we don't have hospitals or clinics here. I mean, it's just, there's only 700 registered voters in Point Roberts. So it's a tiny little place. We have one supermarket, a handful of gas stations, a post office, a hardware store, and that's about it. So we could get into Canada for emergency stuff, and that was a little concerning at first. But then I realized that our supermarket is being well stocked. And because there's no Canadians coming down here as per usual to buy cheap, cheese and milk and that kind of stuff, the supermarket is actually extremely well stocked. And we have armed border guards protecting our supplies.
There you go. There you go.
So you're probably in a better position than some people are. Plus, it's so small, you don't have a lot of people running around willy-nilly coughing on everybody. I mean,
That's true. That's true. I go in the supermarket, and people won't even go in the same aisle as someone else. They'll wait till they're done, and then you have the aisle to yourself. But people here are awesome. Even in this little tiny community, people have been sewing masks for each other and offering, to deliver meals and that kind of stuff. And it's been really heartwarming.
that's awesome.
Have you had any confirmed cases in your area at all?
They won't tell us.
Or they won't tell you, but
No.
your husband Mitch, he's been kind of sick for the last, I don't even know, like few weeks, right? But not.
It was 3 weeks this past Monday. He's had stomach flu that's kind of on again, off again. He'll feel okay for a day, and then it comes roaring back. And yeah, we don't have any tests here, and we only get the statistics for our county, not for our town.
Yeah. So Rick wants to know, how do you source? Like normally, how do you source?
I do mostly Value Village, which is the Canadian equivalent of Savers. And it's kind of nice because I buy in Canadian dollars, which right now are considerably less than US dollars. So if I spend $1 Canadian, it's only like spending 65 cents US. So I source in Canada, and then I sell at US prices. So even if I sold something for exactly what I paid for it, I'd still be making 35% on my money.
Crazy.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right. So you're basically like a full-time seller now. What, give us a handful of some of the jobs that you've had in the past.
I was a teacher. I owned a courier company. I was a graphic designer. I'm a certified dog groomer. I'm a certified professional photographer and a truck driver.
It's crazy.
That was the most recent one.
That was the most.
When I met Debbie, she was still a truck driver.
Yeah.
I was driving, sourcing all over the U.S. as we drove, because we did only long haul team driving, and I was taking pictures in my truck and listing.
So how many miles did you and Mitch do when you were on the road?
About 18,000 a month.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Any idea, like total, like through the whole time you were doing it?
No, we did it for 15 years. So, you know, a normal trip for us would be starting in Vancouver. So generally it would be Vancouver to either New York, New Jersey, then up to Toronto, down to Florida, back over to Toronto, and then sometimes home and sometimes not. But we were on the road about 6 weeks at a time.
Mhm.
Wow, it's a long time.
Yeah.
And you liked that life. You
We
liked
did. We did. We've always been Rolling Stones, and you know, our dream retirement is to get in a motorhome and travel. So we enjoy it.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
So what kind of stuff do you sell now? What's your like area that you really like to sell in?
I sell clothing and hard goods, including shoes and handbags and that kind of stuff. If I had my way, I'd just sell hard goods.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Me too.
Me too.
No, you
I
wouldn't.
I don't really have a niche. I buy anything I think I can make money on. I only have about 450-ish listings right now, but I've got still tons that I could list at home. I just haven't been getting to it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it looks like Swift Seller did the math for us. 15 years, 18,000 miles a month is 3,240,000 miles. How's that sound?
Holy shit. It makes me tired just thinking about it.
That's a lot of miles.
That is a lot of miles.
Now that you've been stuck at home, have you finally dusted off that vinyl cutting machine and mastered it?
I cannot tell a lie. No, I haven't.
Well, at some point we're going to have our reseller remix, and we are going to need to hire you to do some of the swag items for us, because our plan with Reseller Remix is to hire as many resellers and friends that are small business owners as possible to help create the things that we need and help with the things that we need for the event. Because let's face it, it's a small business event, so we want to support small businesses. So that means you need to figure out your vinyl shit so that we can hire you.
I do.
When we're finally able to have this event.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've had this silhouette cameo for 3 years, and it's made it out of the box once or twice, but it's never actually managed to be hooked up to my computer. So need to get to it.
But those of you who are saying that Debbie is an artist when we still didn't know who she was, she definitely is. She's super creative, and she's
very artistic.
One of those people who will like have an idea and be like, "Oh, I'll put something together," and then you're like blown away about it.
I would love to show you some of her creativity, but it's probably not show appropriate.
I think it's maybe too X-rated.
So Liz wants to know, did you volunteer to be the mask seller, or did Katie and Vicky reel you into these shenanigans?
They reeled me in.
Yeah, and when I asked Debbie, her first response was to tell me that she's boring, but then after that, she also said that she's crazy and unpredictable. And I'm like, somehow those three things don't go together, really.
I think she is far from boring. Debbie and her husband came and stayed with us back in February for an entire week, and we had a bunch of resellers in town, and they happened to stay at our home. And you know what? They were so far from boring. They were the most... she's way more Canadian than she's American, I've got to say, because she is probably the nicest house guest I've ever had.
Oh.
So, seriously, you guys are, I mean, you know, whenever you have somebody stay in your home, it's always a crapshoot, whether you're all going to get along well, if it's going to be awkward or strange or whatever. Not at all. I mean, and it was the first time we met her husband, and, you know, he's tagging along, staying with strangers for a week. Our dogs love them. Both of them. I think the dogs miss you guys more than we do. I'm not sure.
We enjoyed being around them too. It was awesome. We had a really good time that trip.
It was a good time.
It was really fun. So Allison wants to know if you've ever been to Swiss Chalet in Canada. I don't know what that is.
My husband's kind of a health food nut, so yeah, no.
Yeah, they
filled their refrigerator with green stuff and goat milk and oats.
No, there's no goat milk. There
was two goat milk.
There wasn't goat milk.
No.
There was oat milk.
Oh,
big difference.
Whatever.
But he's not just a health food nut. He is the sweetest, kindest person ever. And if he hears about anything that might be potentially harming anything, I don't know. Pretty soon he's going to be the point where all he can eat is like grass grown in the wild. Because
stuff that you grow in your backyard.
Because he's one of those people where he hears that, like, you know, about how like you were drinking almond milk before, and then realizing how many
the almond milk industry is ruining resources, so that's cut out of they're not allowed to have.
So had to switch over to oat milk.
Yeah, he's just so cute.
He's a good boy.
He's a bleeding heart, tree hugging, granola loving guy, and I adore him. He's very very.
He was born in the 40s, so he's a 1960s teenager. He was born at the right time in history.
Yeah,
he's a hippie dude.
Yeah,
I love it.
He's very sweet. All right, so Kara wants to know, where is Vicky's candy? Yeah. Well, so I went to go get her the chocolate Cadbury eggs, and I went shopping on Easter, and they were out. They were all
Cadbury
gone.
mini eggs.
The mini eggs. They're really
That's my crack.
Yeah.
People joke about the whole Skittles thing, that we did the whole Skittles thing last year. I like Skittles, but Cadbury mini eggs are like, I allow myself 1 or 2 bags a year because I can eat a whole bag in one day. And
which I had like 10 days earlier. I'd gotten me 2 bags. And then when I went back,
was cruel. She was cruel.
Katie was No. I went 10 days ago from Sunday. I went to the store. I got candy for both of us. I got her Cadbury mini eggs. I got me 1 bag of Reese's mini eggs. Somebody ate all of their Cadbury mini eggs in like 2 days.
It was like 5.
And then I was eating my Reese's things because it's like I like to ration mine out. I want it to last. I can't just eat it all at once. And so she asked for some. I gave her 2, and she's like, "What? You're only giving me 2?" And I'm like, "Well, I have to ration it." And then she made this big deal about it. It was my candy, Debbie. It was my candy. Anyway, they were out. When I went back to the store, they were out. And so
you're an abuser.
What's that?
You're an abuser. You
seriously
rationing her.
So when I went, so a couple days ago, Corey came by to pick up some stuff. Yesterday. Was it yesterday that she brought?
Yes.
Okay, so yesterday she came by, and she actually brought Vicky a couple of bags of the mini eggs.
We did a porch swap, by the way. It was
Yay, Corey.
Yay, Corey. And then it was day before yesterday. So there. Very important detail.
Oh, it was.
Anyway, so then yesterday, Debbie told us, like, "Hey, sorry, something's coming your way," and she sent us like a screenshot.
She's tracking the screenshot from Amazon that a delivery is like 4 stops away from our house or something.
And it was Cadbury mini eggs. How many pounds?
It's like a 5-pound bag of Cadbury mini eggs. It's a bit excessive. I think it's like a industrial sized bag. It doesn't even have the labeling on it that says like it's like the purple bag. It's got like the ingredients label on it. I think it's a bulk bag.
Yeah,
it's a bulk bag. You don't have to ration anymore, but see, now I'm in favor of Katie hiding some of them because I don't want you to go into a sugar coma either.
I don't ration hers. I ration mine. And here's the thing, like, because she tends to, I could eat a whole gallon of ice cream in one sitting if I wanted to. But when it comes to candy, it's like, I like to have just a little bit every day, where she's like, I'm just going to eat all of what's here. And so, what was it? Somebody was saying, Nature Girl 2110 says, "Don't think I'm buying Cadbury eggs this year because I never get in, no matter how many I buy, life with men." And I'm like, yeah. So she'll come after me because she'll find candy stashed in my office, and
she hides it.
And she'll like accuse me of hoarding candy. And I'm like, no, I'm putting it aside because otherwise, by the time I'm ready to eat some candy, somebody's eaten all of it.
The fact is, Debbie felt bad for the abuse, and she mailed me 5 pounds of Cadbury mini eggs.
5 pounds.
That's a friend. That's a friend.
5 pounds. I bought you your candy. I bought you candy. I bought you pie. I got you Prosecco.
She's trying to keep me fat is really what it is.
Oh, it's the quarantine diet. I think we're all treating ourselves to
quarantine
things that we don't normally eat.
Right Brain Liz says, what about Reese's chocolate eggs? Those are the ones that I like. Although I will say lately I've been on a kick of the what are those things I'm eating? The chocolate peanut butter little wafer things. Is it nutty?
Nutty buddies?
It's not the nutty, it's not the cookies. It's like the
I don't know what they are.
I think they're yummy. I actually think they taste better than the Reese's.
Well, I was just having the chocolate vicariously because I'm newly diagnosed as diabetic, so I can't have that crap.
Adrian says you're all gonna have to enter and exit from your garage door if you keep eating all that chocolate. No shit, Adrian. No shit.
We don't have room. Our garage is filled with our inventory. So we have narrow.
I'm gonna need a seatbelt extender in my own damn car. Seriously.
We'll get a reseller. Sandra says, treat yourself. You know what? Right now I just don't even care. I'm like, we're gonna take the comforts where we can, and that's gonna be good food. All right?
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah. Quarantine diet, that's life. I am looking forward to another trip out there, and I'm hoping you guys will get some sort of clarification soon. I hope we all do, so that you can replan your reseller remix.
Yeah, we're super excited about it. You know, the venue is working with us as they're working with all of their clients. I'm sure we're going to be able to transfer our deposits to whatever date we choose. Realistically, we would still love to do our initial date, but we also
it's up in the air right now.
It's up in the air right now. We want to give people that want to attend plenty of time to purchase airfare and reserve hotel rooms and things like that. So.
And right now, everything's so up in the air as far as like where people are at financially, you know, so being able to make plans, and even if you could book hotel rooms and buy your plane tickets and everything like that, it's hard to expect people to be able to do that right now. So
it's too uncertain.
It's too uncertain. So we'll keep everybody posted as we kind of figure it out, but it's definitely going to happen.
We are not canceling it. No matter what, we're not canceling. We are going to have a reseller remix convention. It's just up in the air as to when it's going to be right now. That's all. I mean, and we will make sure that people have plenty of time to secure hotel rooms and tickets. One good thing about all of this is with so many things being shut down, when the world does open back up, whether it's in stages or whatnot, airfare is going to be a lot cheaper because they're going to be encouraging people to fly. And
it already is.
Hotel rooms are going to be a lot cheaper, especially here in Vegas, because we've been closed for so long that they're really going to be encouraging that tourism to come back into town. So those two things will mean that it'll be even less expensive for people to travel here for a conference.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, and I'm looking forward to it being a lot more educational than some other things were. I went twice to eBay Open. And although I enjoyed the socializing and meeting other resellers and that kind of thing, I found the information a bit repetitive and kind of, because they have to cater to people that are brand new as well as experienced people, it was really hard to set a reasonable type of class.
Yeah, for sure. Going back to the Reese's chocolate eggs, peanut butter eggs.
Are we done talking about candy yet?
I need to address this with Teresa right now.
Oh my Lord.
She says the peanut chocolate ratio in Reese's chocolate eggs are off, too much peanut butter. Teresa, that's exactly why they are so amazing compared to just the regular standard cup, is that there's more peanut butter and it makes them more delicious. So I'm sorry, but you were categorically wrong. That's all.
Okay.
I'm going to put up
Sorry,
Teresa. Mary Me says, I'm flying this Sunday. Where are you flying to? Where are you going? It's so crazy. We see like these planes, you know, there's probably only like 5 people on each one.
I've had a few friends that have had to travel for business or for essential reasons. And they're traveling with the planes, like 5 to 10 people on an entire plane. I mean, the airline industry must be losing so much money right now.
Yeah, hemorrhaging money right now. Anyway, if anybody has any questions for Debbie, feel free to ask away, or for us. We're all just kind of part of this quirky little reseller community, and Debbie's definitely one of those people that we met because of being resellers, because of eBay Open. And so, you know, that's one thing that like I'm really grateful for, is that we get to have all these amazing friends that we never would have met otherwise.
Stranger friends that become real friends. Good friends.
It's amazing. The number of people that I met through the eBay opens I attended was phenomenal, and a lot of people, including you, have turned into lifelong friends. It's been fantastic.
That's how we feel, about a lot of people. Teresa and Lorna are people that I met my very first eBay open, which was in 2016, I think. And I am not somebody, I've been on eBay for more than 20 years. I never went to the eBay live events. I never went to the eBay radio events. It was not my thing. I'm not a joiner. And I've said this many times. I never thought I wanted to be part of this community until I went to my very first eBay open, which I only went to because it was here in Vegas and I lived here. I never expected that I would enjoy it as much as I did. I never expected that I went there and I was like, oh my God, I found my people. And it was great. And I love it. So
I was the same. I was so nervous when I went because I didn't know a single person, and people reached out. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. Teresa has #ADA Ask Debbie Anything. What shows are you into? Do you watch TV at all, Debbie?
I don't have cable, but I watch Prime and I watch Netflix.
Do you watch any particular shows you've been enjoying lately?
We just got done with Ozark, and I enjoyed that. Although in that genre, nothing will ever compare to Sons of Anarchy. That was my all-time favorite.
Oh yeah, it was really good.
We rewatched all of Game of Thrones and enjoyed it again.
There you go.
Yeah. Haven't watched.
Do you like very high drama, kind of thriller, gritty shows?
Yes. And we enjoy a lot of the series. Action. All right, Valerie wants to know, how did you get started in reselling with all these other jobs you have had in the past? I started in 2002 in the days when my internet was dial-up, and I would do a listing and I would walk away from the computer and I would go do laundry and clean my kitchen and make beds, and then I'd come back and it would just be finishing uploading. And the first thing I sold was Wade figurines.
Oh, okay.
The little tiny porcelain animals
that come in teak bags, right? Was it in
Lipton tea, I think? Yeah.
Or Tetley tea, or one of those.
I had a whole bunch of those, and I sold them, and I couldn't believe the money I got for them. Of course, they're not worth anything now, but it was pretty astonishing. And so I kind of, I've come and gone and kind of dabbled in it, but now I'm, doing it pretty consistently. Yeah.
So Barbara wants to know, what happened to the reseller notebook that you designed? Did you start selling them?
Yeah, it didn't work. I've found out about another service now that I'm going to investigate, because I would have to have it done in Canada and prices are so much more expensive up here. I couldn't find a copy place or a publishing place that would assemble it for a reasonable price. I would have had to sell them for like $75 or $80, and nobody wants to pay that, and I wouldn't want anybody to pay that. So Amazon is starting a self-publishing thing, so I'm looking into that. And I'm still plugging away at it. The files are all ready. I just have to find somewhere I can get it printed reasonably. If anybody has any suggestions, I'd be thrilled to have them and check it out.
Yeah, they're these really cool like reseller kind of planners.
It's almost like a bullet planner, but it specifically pertains to resellers as far as your number of sales per day, your number of listings per day, your cost of goods for that particular day.
Some people like to have a tangible book that they can, like, I know Lorna is one of those people that really likes.
I'm an old school person. I like to handwrite stuff. I'm not, I hate spreadsheets. I've said it a million times. Teresa would hate it because Teresa likes spreadsheets, but I like tangible things.
And making
I like to be able to sit and leaf through it and look at it and flip back and forth and figure out where I'm going and what I'm doing, because usually I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Okay, Teresa has another Ask Debbie Anything. What skill would you like to master?
Oh,
Is there anything you've been meaning to like do that you would love to learn how to do?
well, my vinyl cutting machine, obviously, but one of my things has always been that if I want to do something, I just do it. When I went to school full time for a year to get my certificate in photography, because I'd always enjoyed it and I'd played around with it, and I took a year off work and rented an apartment in downtown Vancouver and went to the school and just did it because it was something that always interested me. So I don't hold myself back. If there's anything I want to do, I just do it.
Yeah, I like that about you. I think it's awesome.
I think you are what people would call a jack of all trades. Like you just have a lot of skills in so many different varying outlets. Like I think that's great.
I'm always taking classes and doing things and following tutorials.
Awesome. You're always trying to expand your knowledge and your skill set, and I think that's great.
Awesome. So, thank you.
Mo says, have you taken any art classes or were you born creative? I saw your work at eBay Open. Great stuff.
No, I've just always been creative, and I do online classes, and I've taken a few classes, but my mom knows how to do everything under the sun. She's a tailor, and she knits and she crochets and she does all kinds of stuff. I have a sister that's a painter, and my brother is musical and a painter as well. So
just an artistic
family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes a big difference because my mom is an artist, and so when I was little, we that's the kind of, we didn't have like a TV, we didn't like sit and watch TV and stuff like that. So it was always like doing like little art projects and little crafts and painting and sculpting and doing all kinds of stuff. Like we would buy that what's that stuff that you buy that you shape into stuff and then you bake it?
It's like clay.
And then you can paint it or whatever.
Or something.
Yeah, kind of like that. We would get stuff like that and make things and make our own ornaments and paint windows and then she'd like always tell us stories and make up stories with fairies and elves, and we'd be characters and their cats would be characters in the stories.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's just like kind of fostered this kind of really creative part of both myself and my sister that I think is kind of probably why we're kind of weird and silly today. So
yeah, same here. And I love seeing anything creative. I especially love seeing kids being creative. It can be music, it can be art, it can be crafting, it can be anything. And I just love creativity.
Yeah, it's really fun.
I wasn't really allowed to watch TV when I was a little kid. So I was allowed like 1 or 2 hours on a weekend or in like Saturday morning cartoons. I read a lot. So I read and did a lot of art too when I was a kid. And I think that parents that don't just stick their kid in front of the TV and actually make them do creative stuff and learn, I think makes you a more creative adult.
Yeah.
Oh, so I have a question for you. So I recently saw somebody post this on Facebook, and something that maybe some of you guys will be shocked to hear this. Debbie, when I tell you to picture an apple, like let's say a red delicious apple, can you see that in your head?
Yes.
What does it look like?
Red delicious apple.
But does it look like a real apple? Does it look like you can see it like it's real?
I see it like it's real, but because of all the years of photography, I see the light and I see the dark.
Yeah, because I learned recently that there are people, and she's looking at me weird. There are significant number of people who are unable to visualize things in their head. They either think only in words. They have an inner monologue, like they'll think the word apple, but they don't actually see it. And there's people, it tends to be more creative people who can see it like it's a photograph or see it like it's real, or they can even go as far as like peeling the apple or cutting it and seeing the core. And there's people who absolutely don't see it at all.
That's sad.
Isn't that crazy?
That's weird.
Like if I can think about somebody's face, like my parents.
See, Courtney just said, I cannot visualize things in my head.
Yeah.
That's so strange. I did not know that not everybody.
I'm sorry, Courtney.
That's a really strange thing. I did not know that.
Yeah, or they only think in words as opposed to pictures. And there's even people, I think it's a little bit more rare, but there's even people who don't even have an inner monologue or an inner dialogue or whatever.
Oh my God, I'm talking to myself constantly. Sometimes it's inside, sometimes it's outside.
Yeah, I think that I've heard that people that can speak multiple languages sometimes just see the words in their head.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And there's also people where, because it's like a kind of a spectrum where there's people who, they think of a red delicious apple, they just kind of see a shape, like a flat, like two-dimensional shape of an apple, and not actually see an apple. So it's very strange, but it seems, it's just one of those weird things.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, see?
Rockin' Robin has a question.
This one?
Yeah.
Can you get to the San Juan Islands by boat from your place?
I'm sure you probably could.
It'd be a while.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's that far. Like Lorna's in Squim and I'm in Point Roberts, but as the crow flies, I think that I could probably yell out my back door and she could hear me.
Yeah.
And we do have a very large marina here. Yeah, you could get there.
All right. Could you swim there?
No.
No.
Anyway, all right. We got just a couple of more minutes left. If anybody has any other questions.
And now I'm singing. Mother's Deals had picture yourself in a boat on a river with tangerines. Anyway, so now I'm singing.
Okay, here's another
Tangerine
question
trees.
for
Yeah,
you.
you're wrong.
Here's another weird one. How many of you guys in the chat, if you look at the sun or look up towards the sun, it makes you sneeze? If you look at a bright light, it makes you sneeze. How many of you do that? Because I've always been somebody that thought that, like, if I kind of have to sneeze, I'll like look up at the sun and it makes me sneeze. And I remember being a kid in the swimming pool and I would purposely look kind of towards the sun because it would make me sneeze. And I just thought that was normal. See, look, I'm getting the face again. I thought that was normal, and I found out there's actually a term for it. I can't remember what it is, but only like 20% of the population does that. It's like
I think somebody's spending too much time online looking at funny things on Facebook.
Right?
It was random. It randomly came up. I probably learned it on Reddit or something. Valerie, I just remember being in the swimming pool because that's where you're out in the bright sun, but you look up at the sun. Yeah,
you're all weird.
Jen says that she sneezes at light. Valerie says yes. I'm assuming she's saying yes to
Adrian says yes.
See? Yes.
You people are odd.
I don't know. Rick actually asked a question that was pertaining, did she ever answer what she sold? She did. She says she sells a little bit of clothing, shoes, purses, hard goods,
so
whatever.
Pretty much everything.
Pretty much everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
And Nature Girl wants to know, how long did the listing take with dial-up?
Forever. I could do all my housework and it would just be finishing up.
I started on dial-up as well, but I wasn't on dial-up for very long when I started, but I was still on dial-up. I don't think it took that long, but I do remember it taking 15 to 20 minutes to upload a listing.
I was way up north in Canada when I first started on eBay. I like almost 500 miles north of the Canada-US border, which is where I was born and raised. So yeah, ours was a little slower.
Yeah. Do you have dual citizenship?
I do, yes.
And but you were born in the US, right?
I was born in Canada.
Oh, you're born in Canada. Okay. So you have dual citizenship, and then your kids, you have 2 sons, right?
I have 2 sons, yep, and 3 grandkids.
Are they dual citizens as well?
My children are, my grandchildren are not.
Okay. Because I know you have them living with you part of the time because they won't ever leave their mommy and daddy. But
they have apartments in Canada, but they spend all their time here. I cannot get rid of them. I want them to go away. Please.
I think it's kind of cute though, because they really, the fact that they like love their parents.
What I thought was pretty cute was that Mitch, her husband, called and talked to the boys every day while they were here visiting.
Yeah.
I talked to my mom once every 2 weeks. I think it was very sweet. I thought it was very sweet.
Yeah, they love you guys.
They do. They get along like best friends. You know,
well,
they're
it's
all
not one of those things where it's like, kids who continue to live with their parents forever because they're kind of mooching off of them. They just love being around you guys.
No, both my kids have excellent jobs. In fact, they're both still working.
Mm-hmm.
And No, they both have excellent jobs and they are very independent. But our family has always been really close. My extended family as well. We've always been close.
I think it's awesome. I know my mom, would, if I could live at home forever, she would love that idea. So.
Yeah, me not so much.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
We need our privacy.
Yeah. I would like to end this. First of all, thank you, Debbie. This was fun. But I want to end this with Adrian's question, because I think that is a really good note and good question to end on. What makes you truly happy?
My husband and my dogs.
Not your boys.
Not the kids.
Oops. I love my kids too.
Yeah.
But the dogs are what makes me laugh every day.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'd say that's the same here. Probably, like, how many times a day do I tell you to look at them?
Look at them. Look at the dogs. Look at how cute they are. Look at them. I'm like, they're in the same damn position they've been in for the past 4 days.
We do that all the time. I have an Australian Shepherd and I have a little Chihuahua cross, and both of them make me smile.
And what's your Chihuahua's name?
Luna.
Luna, just like our Chihuahua.
Just like our Chihuahua.
Yep. All right, guys. Thank you, everybody, for coming and hanging out with us. Let us know how you like this show. Maybe we'll do another masked seller again.
Maybe you want to be our next masked seller.
Could you be the next masked seller? I don't know.
Let us know.
It wasn't painful. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Please take care of yourselves. Be safe and be nice to each other and to people.
And our new hashtag.
Our new hashtag is #don't be a dick. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.